We've adapted the curriculum. We're continuing to redesign this curriculum. We are going to probably be redesigning it for the entire year. And lastly, digitizing the material. We have, you guys can see, maybe some of you can see Rivka Aviad, who along with myself and others and volunteers and even some not so volunteers who are coerced. We've been digitizing a lot of our material because we want to be able to send everything online, even though we will give everyone materials in their hands, but if someone needs it, we want to have it available. Okay, so I just want to say then one more thing about the adaptation of the curriculum is that we're working with something different. It's different than four walls and a board and a room. So instead of trying to make the Zoom into a room, what we're trying very hard is to use what works with, what works with the technology today. Okay, Batya, if you can move to the next one. Where's Batya?
Hi.
Okay, move to we're ready. Oh, for Zoom etiquette. Okay. These are just a few things for those of you who signed your kids up. This is something that children have to understand, that this is the way it has to be. And if it's not going to be like this, just things won't work. So, I mean, obviously it's our job to tell them to do these things, but it's also very important that you send this message to them. They have to stay in the view of the camera. It's really hard to teach someone when you don't see them. Okay, you have to see them. Don't walk away, and unless we ask them to, which we will be doing, we don't expect them to look at a black screen, and we want to get as many cues as possible from as much, face, body language as we can get. We have a lot less to work with. We really only have the face, so we need that. The video must be on. Mute and unmute. In the past, I muted everybody and then I unmuted them, but what we want is a better situation where they know they have to stay muted all the time, except when it's time to talk. And the kids as young as kindergarten can learn very easily that you just press the space bar and you get to speak, and that way our lessons will flow more quickly than if they have to wait for me to unmute them all the time. The background has to be clear, like the real background, not one of those funny things and then every time they move, their face disappears. And again, I want to be able to see everybody, and I want also everyone else to see each other. And the last thing is the no scribbling and annotating. Again, I can just close this off so they can't do it, but we want to have them be able to do it, and I don't want to have to always unlock it and lock it between everyone's turn, because as you'll see with some of the things we're going to show you, it's a lot of, this is where it gets to be interactive, and I want them to be, they're going to be using their annotate, and they'll be using their writing, and so I want them to be able to do it. Finally, the chat is not for usage of sending message to each other, but to just send messages to us, for us to send to them. We'll see at the end, we'll be sending you a link through chat. Sometimes we send a link for a game. Okay, next one. This is a little bit dry. We're gonna get to the good stuff soon. Bring to class all their equipment and materials, which means like a notebook, a book, writing materials, their homework. We're going to talk about that too. In the classroom, we would have extra copies of everything, but I don't have really an extra copy to give them. However, we will have scanned copies of all the books, as we'll be working on it in class. So like if I say to the kids, I could say, okay, could you tell me how many times do you see the word pig on this page? So I could ask them to look in their own book and they would tell me. And then once they tell me, they will, I can, make some sort of an annotation over it. They'll tell me they see 3 times. And so I can make an annotation, and then they will, they can see it. And if someone forgets their book, yes, we can use this, but this is not as good as having a real book in their hands. Okay, it's not the same, and I really would, for everyone.
So they're going to have also physical books, right?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. They need to bring it, and we do have an option if there happened to be, this happened last time where I think somebody was having a baby, and so their children were at the grandparents, and they didn't have anything. So I quickly sent pictures on the phone, and I brought it up on the screen. But it's not ideal. It's really better if they're actually, they have the books in front of them. But in case they don't, we have scanned copies. There are many hours going into this. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's show you a couple of neat things we've done. And we're going to show you things of different levels. And so those of you who are thinking of older children, we have this, but for older children too. So we just don't have time to show you everything, obviously. We figure that the preparation, we call prep, or the practice, or the review, will take something like 5 to 10 minutes. And we're going to show you a couple of examples. So for example, we have here a clip. I did not find a clip that I liked, so we would also send that home as homework so that they can, enjoy it as well. And you can then you would see it without the lag. Okay, so next we have a flower. This we can use for words, certain phonic words, sight words, sentences, grammar, punctuation, whatever we would use. This one over here, let's see. You can, oh, you know what? I'm thinking maybe I have to unmute you all first. Okay, so I've unmuted everybody. At least I've given you the possibility of being unmuted. And so let's see. Go ahead, Shoshana, would you be willing, or who is unmuted? Let's see, I have to see who's unmuted here. Okay, Usher,
Yes.
you want to read one of those red words? Go ahead and read one of the red words, whichever one you want.
I'll start with the middle because it's quite obvious. Old.
Okay, you did a great job, Usher.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put an A over here because you did a great job. And not only that, I'm going to put a star, even a few stars. Great job, Usher. Okay, we had a lot of fun making them up, a lot of work, but we put a lot of thought in it in terms of the color and the size and the shape and the density and whatever. And some of them is it's simple as read the word and that's it. Read me the blue word, the red word. That's what we do with the younger ones. With here, we've got, this would be for a little bit of an older level. And I'd say, okay, go ahead, everybody, see if you can find 7 words here. So if you guys can just pretend that you're writing down, or if you want, write down 7 words. I'll give you 10 seconds to write down 1 or 2 of the words, or just pick a word in your head. But we would ask the children to write it, okay? And now, let's see, Yael, do you want to, can you tell us one of the words that you wrote? Okay, Yael, unmute yourself, because I've unmuted, but you have to unmute yourself also. This is what I talked about at the beginning. I need everyone to be unmuted so that, okay? And can you, whichever word it is you write, we're gonna give you remote control, right? You have control now, and you can type one of those words into the box over here. Okay, just go ahead and type it into the first box. Type in whatever word you want. Can you see it? Then whichever word. Let's see, I wonder what word she's doing. What word do you think Yael is going to choose? Oh, we have to see. Let's see. Rivka, which word do you think Yael is going to choose? Yael, do you have, are you typing? You have to choose one of the words. You see the words here, right?
Yes.
Any word you like, doesn't matter, and
No,
type it in. We would have given you more time and you would have written them in your notebook, and now you're going to type it in here. That's right, anywhere you like. Go ahead and type. Well, you type English faster than I type Hebrew, that's for sure. Okay, great job, Yael. Let's go like this. This is how you clap on our thing. We clap like this. Good job, Yael. Okay, and I think you get the idea, but everyone would have a chance. We're racing through here, but everyone would have a chance to do it. Next, we have a syllable chart. And just because of the sake of time, we are going to let, Batya will do this herself. But again, it would have been like we did before. We'd ask everybody. So go ahead, Batya.
Okay, so here are vocabulary words from one of the chapters in the book that we're reading. I would ask a student to look at the word immature, and I would ask how many syllables does immature have? So I would sure, so that's 3 syllables. I would allow the student to stamp to use the stamp in the column for 3. Indignant is indignant, also 3. And sorry, the another student would stamp it in the column.
And this is what happened. This is what I meant by don't scribble on, they can't scribble on the screen. So they all know how to annotate. But here we'll give them a chance to annotate, you know, with things that they want. Go ahead, let's keep on going here. Next one's a little more fun. I don't know, they're all fun. Okay, so we have there's this wonderful site called Flippity. And this site, Flippity, they have all sorts of games. And we actually chose one that's maybe not quite as colorful, but this is called manipulatives, where you have a bunch of words, which then again we can give somebody the remote control, and they can put it in, and they can put it in whatever thing we can have it divided in half. You can have it in a grid of 8 or 6 or 2 or 4. And in this case, we're using a Venn diagram because we're going to go over a little bit of what we've done. We have in this circle over here is Zoom learning, and the second circle over here on the right is regular learning. And all of these words over here, you're going to pull them in to where you think they fit, to see if they fit only with Zoom or only with regular learning, or if maybe we even have a few that fit in the middle. So Rivka, do you want to tell us, Rivka? I think we're going to, instead of giving you, should we let her have, let Rivka have remote control?
I gave everyone remote control.
Oh, everyone has remote control. So Rivka, go ahead. You have control now. So I'm calling your name, and you can choose any one of the words on the bottom and sort of drag it up to wherever you think it belongs.
Okay, participation, but I can't seem to drag it.
I'll help you. Where do you want me to put it?
I think it would be
There
in
you
the
go, you're
middle.
dragging.
It could be for both, right?
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And now I'm really sorry, but I meant the first time it should be Rivka Shani. So Rivka Shani, go ahead and you go ahead and take whichever one you think can work, and wherever you think it works. Okay, Rivka.
I can't.
You have to
You
request
can't give everyone remote control. I think you can give only one person at a time.
there, done.
Okay, you got it. You've got
Which
it.
is good, by the way.
What?
Which is good that you can only give one person at a time.
Yeah.
Hey, I have now, but I'm trying to figure it out.
What are you doing? Which one?
I'm trying to drag library.
Okay. You should be able to do it. The question is, where does library go? And that actually is a very big question, because where do you think it goes, Rivka?
I think it goes into regular learning. As in,
Okay.
technically, you could send books on. You could
Okay, so
do
go
it maybe together,
Go
but
ahead
it's
and
not.
drag it. Go ahead and drag it into regular learning, and I'll tell you something. There is a site, it's called Epic, and I have to get permission to use it.
It's not.
It does have a library, and there are some good books, but I have to be honest that right now I would say the library is one of the few things I think that really is just really good for regular learning. Our plan is anyone who lives in Mitzvah Hall is welcome to come to the library one time a week. We'll set up the time and they can take books, and we'll try to get a batch of books over to anyone who's learning, you know, long distance from us, and we do have a few of them. Okay, let's see, somebody who hasn't had a turn yet at all. Sarah, would you like to, or you still, she might still be putting your kids to bed, I don't know. How about Yossi Mirsky? We'll give you one more. Go ahead, give it to Yossi Mirsky, Batya. See, you feel like my daughter. Yossi, are you there? Okay, Yossi, you have to unmute yourself.
Hi, this is actually Shoshana. Hello.
Okay, Shoshana, go for it.
Hi.
Which one do
No,
you think?
I keep on losing you, Gayla, actually.
Oh dear.
It's been at least 7 times that I've just lost you. I switched to Yossi's phone to see if it would be any better, but it is not.
I seem to remember that you have a problem somewhere in your house. Like some parts are better
it's
than the
not,
others.
I'm actually in the good part of my house. I don't think that's the problem, but
Okay.
I don't know. It's definitely a question for how Zoom lessons are going to look if I've lost you at least 7 times during this short time.
Yes. Yes. That is true. Are you with us right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm talking to you.
Okay, so
that's
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah.
I think you have remote control, so why don't you go ahead and just do one and then we'll finish up
What
with
am I
this.
supposed to be doing?
You're supposed
Sorry?
to be putting this is a Venn diagram, and drag one of the words and tell me which word, where do you think it goes? Does it go into Zoom? Does it go regular learning, or does it go into both?
Okay. It's not letting me. Okay, here we go. Nope. Okay. Nope. I don't know what to do here. This is not really working for me. Sorry.
It's not dragging. Okay.
No.
Okay, you have to realize that every single thing we've done, we have practiced it, before, but for some reason, I don't know why it's not doing.
I mean,
So
I'm using a phone also, not a computer. Maybe
Oh, that's
problem.
probably the reason. Yes, Flippity doesn't work on phones. Yes, I'm sorry.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, so Batya, if you'll just give me remote at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Do I have?
You're
Okay.
That's fine.
Do I have, so here, in terms of, I just want to go over this, in terms of improvisation, at one time you'd say you could do it more easily with the regular learning, but you can improvise here. You learn to use the tools and you can improvise. I have an extra couple of minutes, I will do a game of hangman at the end of class and the kids really like it. It is possible to improvise. In this particular company of Flippity, it's possible if you start off with some other games, from that game you can go into about 10 different variations using the same words, but different variations of it. So you can definitely do it. Discussion, I think also certainly goes with both. I'm not really letting you have too much discussion simply because we don't have that much time, but you can. Games for sure go for both. The drill, I think you agree, also goes for both. Interactive, it might be both and even a little bit more with the Zoom, provided you were on a computer. As reading is with stories, we read to the kids, you can do that. Reading, kids can do reading with us. The chanting, as you saw, it's a problem. Chanting or singing, something like that is a problem. That one really works better just with regular learning and face to face. And finally, the writing, I don't know if we have enough time, but I wanted to show you if we have a special font that we can bring up for the kids, and then we can go ahead and let's say we're writing about elephants, and then I tell them, make sure you're going to skip a line. So I make the line go all the way, and you can see this special line where the kids can write. And then I say, okay, give me a sentence about elephants. Sarah Gutman, I don't know if you're there, or Yael, I see you're there. Yael, go ahead and give me a sentence about elephants.
Again, I wasn't with you right now.
Okay, elephants. Okay, give me a sentence about elephants. We're going to write a paragraph in class together. So this is how we're doing writing.
Elephants are gray.
Elephants are gray. Terrific. Okay, and Cheryl, do you want to unmute yourself and give me a sentence about elephants? Okay, because I can't see you, and this is really a problem, because I do not see you, I don't know if you're really there or just like, I just don't know. Okay, Moshe, go ahead and give me a sentence about elephants. Moshe, you want to give me another sentence about elephants?
I do it with the soap. Yes.
I beg your pardon?
I can't write. I don't have
No,
access.
just you tell me the sentence. You tell me the sentence.
I have 2 elephants in my garage.
Okay, and we know this was from Yael. Go ahead, right, and this one we can do it in a different color. And we know that this is from Moshe, and you must have a big garage, Moshe. That's all I can say. And so
Very
on and
good.
so forth. Everybody would give their own, and somebody else, if we had someone else here, they could give their sentence. But let's see, Asher, go ahead. Oh, there we go. Batya, you gave us a sentence. And so that one is from Batya. And then, well, if we want to talk about changing some words around, we'll change the words, and then everybody will copy it. So this works just as a Blackboard would work, and it's pretty straightforward. They really see it. Okay, we're going to go on. Want to talk about class structure for a second. This is really a review, as you could see. For the younger students, we have like drills, and then all those like games and stuff, and then new skills with reading and writing, and then some sort of movement. Make sure they take off their headphones, and we'll say, okay, everybody stretch. You need to do a little stretching, or can you make yourself this like a letter B? And we've come up with all sorts of different movement activities, as we call them, that often are connected to the book. Sometimes a scavenger hunt, sometimes a treasure hunt. We'll send you warning ahead of time that your children might be running around the house looking for apples or who knows what. So you'll know that to have them ready. And we're going to make sure that they're looking only for things that are safe and they can get to safely. And if we have a treasure hunt, we'll send you the clues, and we'll tell you where to put the clues, like under their pillow and on the fridge, some obvious, easy places. And then they will be able to, have some movement in the middle of class, because otherwise they're very little, just staring at the screen the whole time is very difficult. For the older children, and this is, I'm going to discuss the next point, the older children, flipped classroom. That means that they must do their homework and must do the reading and the sort of straightforward stuff at home. And then in class, we don't have to sit there and listen to them read. They're old enough, they don't need that kind of practice. And at home, they're going to, in class, they will have discussion, and we can write paragraphs and essays, poetry, responses to what they're writing about, and all sorts of really fun interactive activities, bingo, clips, Gimkit, Wiser Me, and so on. If they don't do their homework though, next homework, without any homework, we're not going to have any progress. There's a problem with homework, and that we don't have the ability to check it and to correct it in class as we usually did. We also don't have the ability to say to the kids, oh, you didn't do your homework, never mind, do it now, while we do something else with the kids. It's very important they do their homework. The solution to our inability to check for homework is send it into a scanned before class, or a lot of homework we intend to give them in Flippity. For example, there's a spelling game where I can give a bunch of words and they do the spelling, and it right away sends the results to me. So they can do this homework by computer, like making a video clip or doing a worksheet or a game, and especially the older ones. Okay, and that, I believe, is it. But I did want to play a Gimkit game with you, since it really for you to understand how much fun it is. But I think first I'd like to take questions. If anyone has any questions, I know already there's a very good question from Shoshana of how, if she got disconnected 7 times already in 15 minutes, how that's going to possibly work. I don't remember you having that much trouble when we were doing Zooms all the time. It could be the hour of the night, seriously. Sometimes at night, I know our internet gets a little more spotty. There's a lot more usage. I know that I personally, we've already upped our internet. Like, we got the highest possible, but here in Mitzvah Hall, we only get so much. I do know now how to very quickly tether to my phone if that's necessary, and I can, if necessary, and if that means what I have to do, I'll just buy more phone usage, if that will prove to be an issue. Yes, questions, go ahead. Shoshana.
Okay, so the other thing, it's not really a question, it's more something that as a teacher, I request that you be aware of, that Zoom often has a lag. Sometimes it's quite a significant lag. When we were doing Zoom lessons, some of my more sensitive children would get very frustrated and feel like they were doing something wrong when you would be asking a question and they would be answering, but you would be saying, what's the answer, and they would be answering, but like because of the lag there was, or they would say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do because, you know, the internet cut out for a second and you asked them a question. But anyway, there are different problems in a Zoom class that just, I don't think that there's the solution. I think that you just have to be aware of as a teacher, and we'll try and talk to our kids about it too.
So one of the things I think that we can work around that is maybe using the chat a little more. You know, if it's like, well, what's the question? What page? I can put into the chat and I can say, you know, we're on page, 12, and I put it in, and then everyone sees you've got a message that said page 12, and I can try to make sure that maybe, that's done automatically,
Right,
with
that's for the bigger
as much as
children,
possible.
right?
I think even the younger ones can learn to click on chat and see a 12 there, or, whatever it is. But yeah.
Me?
Okay, any other questions?
Who is this? Who's
No?
Messi? Somebody.
Oh, we got someone new. Any other questions? No one has any questions or complaints? All the people who were complaining didn't come, I shouldn't say that. But I just know that there were a lot of concerns. A lot of people had concerns and wanted to address them. So I thought maybe I'd hear more now.
I think
All
maybe
right.
I
Yes.
think maybe a comment. I mean, I guess wait and see how this is going to work would seem to be the best way to approach this. Thank you all for all your work over the summer, and I guess we could hope for the best.
I can tell you that, I mean, the last two training or webinars, whatever you want to call them, that I went to, the last one had 200 English teachers participating. Really, I mean, everyone is a lot of, not everyone, but a lot of teachers across the country are moving over to Zoom lessons, partly because the teachers themselves are already at an age where they don't really want to expose themselves more than necessary, partly because you're more likely to have a class than when if I have a class and then somebody comes to the class and then they have to go into bidud or they got sick and then everything gets shut down, and then like, where am I going to be then? So I personally don't even know how long schools are going to be open for. And I know the 5th grade, there was no permission over the summer. They closed down the 5th grade activities. So I don't, I really, I'm really desperately hoping we're not going to have any problem with the kindergarten and the first, because I don't think the kindergarten and first can do Zoom successfully until they've had a few months of several months. And even then it's, A.H.A.V.A was very successful, but it takes a lot of talent. Okay, so what I'd love to do is I'd love to show you, this is something that's really good for the older kids. Oh, you're in. Okay. And I don't know if anyone else is coming in. So, all right, go ahead, but just start the game.
A word can be used to look for syllables and words to learn new to review new vocabulary. You think to fly to America? No, you're sure? You're sure it's not to fly to America? You're sure? Which one do you think?
Syllables and words.
Okay. Okay, a flipped classroom. Time for creativity in class is more boring, means the teacher does not work or require.
My daughter's beating me.
Well, I'm rooting for her.
You're rooting for her. Uh-huh. And I'm going to shop. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy something. How much more time do we have, Batya?
Wait a minute.
Should be only a minute left or something. It's supposed to be a very short time. Oh, there we go. I came in second, and Hilda came in first. Go, Morrisons, go, Morrison. Okay, so you see that the kids really enjoy this. I mean, it was just, I mean, you know, I just made up some questions there, but you know, we could make it. We do not use this with like the third graders. Maybe the third graders at the end of the year, they could use it, but we wouldn't be using it with the second graders. But we definitely be doing this for fourth and fifth. And I got kids like loving it and just going over and over. Very difficult stuff. In order,
Yeah.
and they would have to
My
do
daughters
it.
enjoy choosing the wrong answers to just.
They put in the wrong answer just for fun.
But they enjoyed
Well,
it. So good.
right. Okay. Well, maybe then they won't. Okay. So I don't know if you have anything else you want to comment on. You can, and if someone wants to ask me like personal questions as to like with their own child, then, you know, give me a call and we'll do it. So that's it. And I just hope that we'll have a good and a healthy and productive and fruitful new year, and that everyone will continue to learn, because this is the future. And like it or not, our children have to know how to work on computers and learn on computers, and we have to do it too. So we have to try to learn to do it the best way we can, and that's what we've done. Okay, take care.
Thank you very much, Gaia.